Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Pencil Spotting here at the Spooky Pizza gift shop. I really must explain that name sometime, but anyway, I went to back to Dollar General because I liked those Imagine pencils so much that actually I was looking for coffee, and they had a brand that I liked on sale, which is amazing. Um, But I looked, and they had these Imagine colored pencils, and they had 12 of them for $1. And I'm always in the market for colored pencils because I do use those a lot. Um, and I thought, well, let's try this brand and see what we think of it. And I also wanted to go back to this little Twist-n-Sharp sharpener because it did say that it will do colored pencils, and so I wanted to try that out. They did have a pack of 24 for I think $2. But anyway, so I grabbed a clipboard with just some ordinary copy paper on it, printer paper. We used to say copy paper, but nowadays everything's printer paper. So again, everything's taped up super well, and I forgot to grab a knife. Hang on. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to make it into the Boy Scouts because I am never prepared. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to open this from the bottom because it does say pre-sharpened. So I'm going to see what those. And of course the sharp bits are at the top. Okay, so let's go back and open up the top, which is also taped shut. But I think this will come off a bit easier. Or maybe not. So there we go. All right, so there we are then. Look at that. Okay. So they do not want to come out of this box at all. Well, brute force. There we go. Anyway, so this is what we have. They're nice and round. That is real wood, but it doesn't smell like cedar or anything. And you can tell it's a little bit coarser grained. And one of the things about pencils that I have learned is that quality pencil makers always look for very finely grained wood because it sharpens easier. It sharpens better. And so coarser grained wood is not ideal, but it is what's used in cheaper pencils. That's probably the reason right there. This one's a little warped. I don't know that that's going to show up, but this end is, you can see it, is kind of, they all are a little bit warped, but this brown one is the worst one. So they don't have the name of the color on them at all. Can you see how that warped? It's bowed. So interesting. So anyway, let's just try one out. And this is blue. I can tell the difference between the blue and the purple on this one, though, which I sometimes have trouble distinguishing. So they do come with decent points on them. So they draw smoothly. You know, I should have printed out like a picture to color in. And maybe I will do that, and we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, so yeah, that's the blue. We'll try the red, which is at the other end of the spectrum. And yeah, I mean, you can color in. It's a decent coloring pencil. I'm not having any problem laying solid color down. Let me zoom you in here a bit. So I mean, I'm laying this red on rather heavily, and you can do that. You can also do it rather lightly as well. Let's get you in frame. You can also lay down a very light layer of red. Let's try the green. So we'll fill this little box in. It's not a super even color. I don't think you're going to be producing fine art with these. But you know, for putting in the kids' backpack, I think will work. You certainly can't beat the price. So let's go back to was that red or was that orange? I can't. Yeah, this was red. Okay, so this is orange. See the difference here? Yeah. So I think I'm going to go print out something. I think I have like a coloring book I downloaded during the pandemic that I'm gonna print out, and we'll get a sheet and we'll color that in. So I will be right back. All right. So I have a couple of different images here that I did indeed have coloring pages that I downloaded from the internet back in when we were in lockdown. This comes from a website called the Public Domain Review. And they published a whole coloring book of images that were in the public domain. And obviously, I didn't color this whole thing in. And lest you start wondering what people during the Renaissance were on, this is actually a page from a book called Geometria e Perspectiva by Lawrence Storr in 1567. So he is trying to show perspective, in this case, 1-point perspective, because all of our lines are coming to a vanishing point somewhere over here. But I chose this one because it has a lot of detail. And these pencils were not bad at getting in and filling in some of the detail, like these little leaves and these buildings. And I didn't finish coloring this whole thing because I have no idea what color these things should be. And I was limited to really 11 colors, because I'm sorry, but white, I don't know why they always include a white colored. Well, I do know why they include a white colored pencil, because you're never going to use it, but it's one less color they have to make. To make any of these, you just add pigment to that. So I started. I was kind of wishing that I'd bought the 24 pack, because it would have more colors, and I could do more with this. But I mean, for little tiny detail, these things did all right. It's a little bit harder to lay down solid color, which we will see, because for my second picture, I chose this illustration. This is artwork by an artist named David Gonzalez, who has a unique style, as you can see. He actually has a YouTube channel and Instagram called Steady Craftin', and I will try to link to those if I remember. But yeah, this little character, he's a part of the Rebel Alliance. So I picked him because there are just large areas of color to fill in. And as you can see here in his legs and boots, these did not do a really great job of filling in color evenly. He's an adorable little character, but yeah, it's very hard to get even color with these. It was not at all pleasant coloring this, as much as I kind of wished it had been. So, and I tried to do some color gradation. Oops, got a clip in the way. Tried to do some color gradation up here, and these pencils were just not having any of it. So, as impressed as I was with the regular just writing pencils from Imagine, I did not find this a pleasant experience at all. They were just $1. I mean, if you just need cheap coloring pencils to put color on something and you don't care how even it looks, these will do the trick. But if you want things to look a little bit better than this kind of stuff, there are better pencils out there that are not terribly expensive. I still like the Mondo Llamas from Target, and the Bic ones, if they ever make them again, are still my favorite. So I should probably do a demo of those at some point in the future. But anyway, I'm glad I didn't spend more than $1 to get the 24 pack, because yeah, I was not really super happy with these. But I do want to test, before I forget, I do want to test this little sharpener, because I don't think these will sharpen easily, because my impression was that they're pretty coarse wood. So I used a lot of the green. So I'm going to set this to a blunt point first. This is what our point looks like ahead of time. So we're going to do this. And I didn't have the side door closed, if you heard it click there. Oh, okay. Well, there's our blunt point. There we go. Let's see if we can get a fine point on it, though. The shavings in here are really small, which is a good sign. So, and there's our fine point. So, so this does, so far, do a pretty good job on both regular pencils and coloring pencils. Of course, when that blade gets dull, that's it. This guy's finished. But yeah, he did a pretty good job with that. So this is my regular box of coloring pencils, and I don't think I'm going to mix these. I think I'm going to keep these separate because I'm not enjoying that. But here is a Mondo Llama pencil that is in need of sharpening. So, and I have this set to a very fine point, and yeah. This takes weird practice to get that ratcheting just right. But yeah, we got a nice sharp point on him. There's a nice fine brown line. So, yeah. So he does a good job with coloring pencils while his blade is still sharp. We will see as time progresses. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Don't waste your time or your money. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this, please feel free to hit the like button. But if you have a question or a comment, please go ahead and leave one of those. I do read everything that I get, and I would love to respond to you. So until next time, have a great day, have a great week, and be careful out there.